Hi, I'm Jordy Jamieson. I'm a type 1 diabetic. I have been since I was 10, and so it's been 8 years now. Today I'm going to talk about myself first. It's not changing. There you go. So I'm 18 years old, type 1 diabetic, like I said, and at the moment I'm using Lantus and Apidra twice a day, and seems to be working for me, so I'm sticking to it. Don't really want to change at this point in time, but at the moment I'm studying business at AET in my first year, and also play basketball and started coaching this year as well. Didn't play this year because of injury, but hopefully I can next year. So at age 10, in February 2004, I was diagnosed as type 1 diabetic. We decided that my parents decided that they'd take me to the GP because over around 3 months I'd lost a lot of weight and was going toilet up to, I think my most was 33 times in one night. So obviously something wasn't right, so we decided we might as well go check it out. So went to the family doctor, and this was obviously my first sort of relationship with a doctor to do with diabetes. And they were my GP, so I've seen them a couple of times, knew them. And they decided they'd do a blood test. So I did the blood test, and as a young 10-year-old, it gave me a bit of a fright. Hurt a little bit, and finger was quite sore, but it's all right. Then she left the room and came back about maybe 5 minutes later and told me I had type 1 diabetes, and I had 2 questions. I asked, would I need to do injections, and she said yes, and being a 10-year-old, it scared me quite a bit, but and then I said, would I get better, and she said no, so it was sort of, I sort of just hit me there that obviously my life had changed a little bit, and sort of start taking a different approach, but so went along to Starship Hospital. And here we didn't really have a relationship with any doctors because we were changing every day. They were trying to teach us all the ropes. They didn't teach a lot to me. It was a lot directed at my mum and dad, so that obviously me being quite young, I didn't really understand what was going on. But so they taught my parents, and then I learned a lot of it from my parents once we got back home. We were in hospital for 3 days, or 3 nights. And they sent me home with all the emergency numbers, all of that, just in case we have issues. So here I feel we could have maybe had a more direct relationship with one doctor so that it wasn't as confusing and we weren't meeting new people all the time, but we still managed to learn what was going on. So they sent us home, and then it must have been 3 months into it, I had my first juvenile clinic. So at the juvenile clinics, they sort of took a really personal approach to their patients, which I really liked. They took an interest in all the things that I'm into, so basketball, all of that, what I was doing at school. So they related my diabetes back to what I was doing at the time, which really helped me to learn all the things that I needed to know. And so they had a strong focus still on learning all about carb counting and making sure I know how much insulin to take with what I'm eating and all of that. So it's all balancing, but they made sure that I knew and learned everything that I need to know. The doctor that I saw most there was Craig Jeffries, and his theory that he told me was that I will be the expert, he's the specialist, but I will know my own diabetes the best, so I'll be able to sort of teach him about myself and how I'm controlling, and they'll be learning off me as well, which was good for me building confidence in that, so I felt that I was in control and I knew how to control it and all that, so I really liked the approach there. And in the last 2 years, I've been transitioning into the adults clinics, which have a slightly different approach to the juvenile. You see a variety of different doctors, so you see your nurses, your dietitians, doctors, and it changes each time you go in, which is different to the juvenile because you don't get a direct relationship with one specific doctor. which I'm still sort of adjusting to it, but it's good and bad for me. At this point in time, as a teenager, I sort of, you just want to live life, and there's still a lot that they're trying to teach me, and I feel at this point in time that I'm sort of not as interested, but I'm still keeping on top of my diabetes, but they're pushing a lot of the pump and all the carb counting courses and all of this, and I've been told by my GP as well not to do it until I'm ready, so that I can get the most out of it. So at this point in time, haven't done the carb counting course, which I'll do in the next probably year, and I'm not on a pump any of this, but yeah, I mean they've suggested these things, but for me, I don't want to be on a pump at this point in time, and so I've chosen not to. The other thing is that I've found is that with the no direct relationship, they don't know me as a person as well. So the difference in juvenile to adults is that in juvenile they treated me like a person with diabetes, whereas at the adult they treated me more like a diabetic. So they're not sort of getting right through to me. But I mean, I still feel it's good. I've got to go to the clinics, I've got to get the checkups and all of that, and so they're really good for me. I don't always want to go to them, but have to, so got to keep on top of it. But in summary, I know everything that the doctors are doing for me is good for me. But I think the way that I learn is best through a personal relationship with the doctor. So I think if I can build personal relationships with the doctor, then I find it easier to understand, and I can relate it back to everything that I'm doing. So yeah, thanks for your time.